Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Giuliana Magrane, and welcome to the spring edition of Speak the Devils. Today, we'll be talking with English teacher Miss Bonney and her experiences as an educator at Burlington High School. We will also be showcasing a VHS original TV short film titled Food Crimes, as well as a clip from the latest Teen Voice and a new episode from Zac Pack. That's all coming up and more on this edition of Speak the Devils.
Well, looks like bad luck's finally caught up to you.
I've done nothing wrong. I want a lawyer.
Nothing wrong. A lawyer, you say? Yeah, no. Low budget student productions, we don't really do that around here. But no, tell me, March 17th? Yeah, no, that fateful night, what were you doing?
March 17th. I was eating dinner with my roommates.
Exactly. Just as you said word for word, you were cooking pasta, boiling pasta, with no water! It was burning the pasta!
Where did I say cooking? I said eating. It was my roommates who were cooking dinner. I was sitting at the dinner table waiting for my roommates to serve.
Then tell me, February 2nd? Tell me, what were you doing in the grocery store? In the fruit aisle? This item is not typically in the fruit aisle. Orange juice with pulp. Nobody likes pulp!
I see nothing wrong with that statement. Pulp is delicious.
Delicious?
Yeah, it adds flavor.
Flavor!
Maybe you're the one in the wrong, Mr. Sir.
It's a food crime nonetheless. Tell me this then. What were you doing on March 17th? No, I meant January 1st. New Year's Day, all the stores were closed. You could not commit any of your favorite crimes. So you decided you had to go to the wash your hands and you had to leave the water on.
I'll admit, I did all of those things, but none of them were wrong, and I was saving that water for later. Something about your voice sounds familiar. Anything you'd like to confess, roommate? Or should I say, Johnny?
Yeah, cuff him.
Well done, everyone. I guess food crime doesn't pay. And now on to our interview with our lovely guest, Keri Bonney. Hello.
Hi.
Our first question, why did you decide to be an English teacher?
I decided to be an English teacher because I was one of those students in high school who really loved reading and loved literature. English was my favorite class. But even more than that, I was really lucky. I went to Needham High School in Massachusetts, and I had some excellent English teachers who really inspired me. I loved the way that they interacted with their students, and I really loved how they treated us like we were equals. And I was, thought I want to do that for other students and make them have a good experience in English as well.
Do you feel like you've succeeded with that?
I hope so. You can ask Aaron.
What brought you to Burlington High School?
Burlington High School. So prior to Burlington High School, I was working for a year in 8th grade in another district, and anyone who's taught you 8th grade can tell you want to go back to high school. So really it was my desire to go back to high school, and also that Burlington has a great reputation. There's a lot of diversity in Burlington, which I really appreciate on a personal level, because I think the world is diverse and it's good to have diverse students. So that was a big pull for me.
What has brought you to become the advisor, for the Tabletop Club?
So that was me essentially having one of the members as a student, and they lost their former tablecloth club advisor. And I've always been someone who's admired people who have the passion for D&D and the patience for it, because it's hours and hours, right?
Yes.
So I was like, you know, I kind of want to see this in action, and also I want to make sure that they're able to have this community and to continue this community. Most of their campaigns do go on actually on the weekends at the library because it's just not long enough, the time that we have in school, but I'm glad that they've, you know, remained friends and they've still been able to interact and share that passion together.
And on the topic of clubs, why had you become the advisor for the GSA?
GSA, I'm actually not an advisor for the GSA, but I'm next door to both of the advisors. So it's Connor Pastizzi and Victoria Marcel are the advisors. But I am a strong advocate for GSA and really believe in supporting students and making sure everyone's welcome in our school. So I've definitely attended some meetings.
Mm-hmm. So diversity is a thing that you really strongly believe in at BHS.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, especially as a teacher, it's my job to make sure that I am letting all voices be heard and that I am trying to make sure people are treated as fairly as possible and given as much opportunities as possible.
That's great. That's really admirable. What are your favorite books to teach? What are some of your favorite books you've read recently?
Great questions. So I do love to teach. I'm currently teaching The Great Gatsby in the junior curriculum, which I know it's a love-hate. Some people aren't a fan of it.
Really? I really liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really love it too, but I love it for the reason that I truly think Fitzgerald is pointing out how the rich people in the 1920s are terrible people and that we should not do what they did. So I think he's saying to us, don't be a Tom, don't be a Daisy. Actually, don't be a Gatsby either, because that's a really toxic relationship that he has with Daisy. So I think it's a really great story to actually teach to teenagers so they can see that dynamic and be like, yep, not me. And also, it's just so relatable. Even today, we still have the 1%, and we have a lot of people who suffer because they don't have enough money.
And the second part of that question, what are your favorite books that you've read recently?
So right now I am listening to an audiobook that is called The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and it's a mystery thriller. And I am a little anti-technology in some ways, and takes place at a smart house that's completely like linked up. They have cameras in every room, and it follows a young woman who is hired as a nanny in this remote area of Scotland. And these creepy things keep happening, like loud music blasting from all the speakers at like 3 a.m. with no explanation, and no one in the house has the power to do that. But the two parents who are abroad have the power to do that. And she keeps hearing these footsteps creaking in the attic, and she can't stay asleep. And it's at a really good point. If you like mysteries and you like British authors, Ruth Ware, she's pretty good.
That actually sounds right up my alley. I will definitely be checking that out. And kind of going off the first part of that question, what's your favorite topic to teach as an English teacher? Or are there any like values that you really hope that your students internalize?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little cliche, but one of the values I really try to instill is kindness and acceptance. So for example, I am one of those teachers that if I hear another student call someone an idiot or stupid, I'm gonna call them out on that. I don't appreciate that kind of language, and I do think that people internalize that, even if it's their friends. If they're saying that to you all the time, I think it does impact you psychologically. So I don't want it in my room. Also, collaboration. I really want students to feel like we are on the same team, and the way that we are successful in the classroom is by working together. And you know, I really hope they feel welcome. I definitely try to emphasize that I care about every one of my students. They matter to me. They are the reason I do this job. And I work with teens for a very special reason. You guys are in an amazing stage of life. You are young people that I can treat as an equal. I can joke with you. You're not going to get offended. And you're finding out who you are. And that's such a wonderful ability to be able to be in someone's life even for like a little bit of time, to see them find out like who they are and discover the world a little bit more. So I want my students to know that I think this is a privilege too, to be their teacher and to have this job.
That's very sweet. That little bit of time can make like such a big impact on a person, right?
It can, and I mean, they make big impacts on me all the time too, so.
Moving on. What events do you like / support at Burlington High School and on a larger scale, the town of Burlington?
Yeah, so for example, I'm really sad the Spring Fling dance got canceled recently. I don't know if you heard about that. I was going to chaperone it and got canceled. I think we need to do more community events together, number one.
I agree.
I think we need to find a way to get students to buy in and like, if dances aren't fun, how can we make them fun? Or if it's not a dance, like what do you want to do? Let's just get people here having fun. I also know there was a coffee house last night.
Oh, there was?
There was, and one of my students sang in it, and I felt terrible because I couldn't be there. I do live a little far away, unfortunately, from Burlington, but I love that idea of having students like come and sing songs and present original poetry and play. I think we had some students who played guitar and things like that and original pieces. So I love like the culture, arts, and anything that's appreciating diversity. I believe the GSA is going to be having another game night. They had one earlier this year that was really successful. And I think it's game night and karaoke.
Ooh.
So I'm all about that. So I think we need a lot more of those events for, clubs and people of all walks of life, because we're just so plugged in. We're so on our phones, we're so on, and I think sometimes people are on their phones even with their friends, and to like do face-to-face interactions and have fun in real time. And so I would love to talk to more students to see what would you actually come to, which I've started to try and do with my freshmen in my homeroom. And we'll see if we get somewhere.
I'm so sorry. Outside of English and reading, what hobbies do you have? Do you like to knit or something, or?
I look like someone who would like that, but knitting was too hard for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Miss Rose taught me how to knit, actually.
Okay, so I should hit her up.
Yeah, you should.
Maybe it was my teacher. Maybe that was the problem. So I actually do like to paint. I wouldn't say I'm like good at it, but I like it. I like to sketch. Again, I'm not claiming to be good at it, but I enjoy it. I am like an avid movie watcher as well. Definitely. And like to walk. I love horses. If I could go horseback riding more often, I would. But yeah.
It's really nice. And this is just a quick little fun question. Would you rather have 2 hours less of school or have school start at 4 p.m. for 7 hours?
Ugh, I'd say 2 hours less of school. I'd say let's start at 10:40, and then you'll be happier, I'll be happier. I think that's what we should do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
It's too much traffic from Burlington. I don't want to do that.
Because like you get the rush hour and like the people dropping their kids off, and then the students who are like 16, freshly like licensed, and it's like, oh, okay, it's party.
Yes, exactly. I think we solved the problems, Giuliana.
Really?
We should actually do it. Just 10:40 start time.
I think that is a great idea. Thank you, Miss Bonney. And now let's take a look at this latest clip from Teen Voice, where they discuss the recent developments on ice.
Let's jump right in. We're going to go through a series of questions. The first one is, we're going to be talking about ice, and it's not something new. Ice is something that's been around for a good while. It's been repurposed, which is part of the issue. Originally, Border Control was responsible for keeping people and other items from coming into the country. And ICE was responsible for dealing with migrants who, for whatever reason, were undocumented. Perhaps they came in through not through normal means, or they overstayed their visas or whatever. Now it is being brought into rounding up people who are considered undocumented and should be removed. Barack Obama deported 2 million people. Percentage-wise, probably Dwight Eisenhower deported a great deal more. So this is not something new. The question is, A, should it be, and B, how do you feel about the way it's being done?
Well, I think that the major discrepancy between deportations during Barack Obama's presidency and what we're seeing now is that it's not strictly related to cases of undocumented immigration, but it's being brought into cases of people seeking asylum or seeking to be in the country in a legal way, but are simply not 100% caught up on all of the extensive legal proceedings that make up an immigration status. So I have some experience with this. My parents immigrated to the country, and I got to see part of their journey into gaining legal citizenship. And there's a lot of different factors, different court cases, and money involved with becoming a legal citizen in the country. And so a lot of the deportations that we're seeing are being done to people that are still earlier on in the stages of legal immigration, but aren't strictly here under like illegal circumstances. They're here because they're seeking asylum, or because they're on a visa and they just have to renew their visa, but they're being rounded up at courthouses instead of being given due process, or they're rounded up outside of their courthouses that they are there to actually be there for legal means for, but they're being not given due process. And I think that that's the big shift between former presidencies and this current regime.
It's very in your face and hard to avoid, especially because this was one of Donald Trump's main running campaign promises and stuff. Like, if you remember around 2024, the first debate, or one of the first debates, it was like they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. That was something about Haitian immigrants. And then he, for the first time, followed through on a promise and stuff. And it's had really disastrous and dangerous and, quite frankly, terrifying consequences for people in the United States.
But I feel like it's more widespread now. You're hearing about ICE more now than you did then. And I also feel like it's all the violence ICE is doing and just how it's being pushed, and you can't escape it. With Spotify ads that are pushing for you to join ICE and stuff like that.
I get constant Twitter ads that are join ICE, and no matter how many times I block them or hit I don't want to see this, it just keeps showing up. It's something that this administration is working very hard to keep in the forefront of the American people's mind, even though I think most people you would talk to are not a fan of ICE or don't want anything to do with it. They're trying to make it seem like it's a majority issue when it isn't. Thank you, Bob, and thank you to those wonderful panelists. Be sure to tune in to the full episode on our website, bcattv.org, or on our BHS TV YouTube page. Now, with laws being a relevant topic to today's episode, we wanted to test Miss Bonney's knowledge of United States law. So we've prepared a list of laws, and it's up to us to find out which ones are true and which ones are false. But fair warning, these laws might get a little silly. We will be completing one-on-one to see who truly knows their stuff. Now, we'll throw it to our lovely trivia host, Lucian Gates. Hello, Lucian.
Hello. Shall we get right into it?
Sure.
All right. So, In Tampa Bay, it is illegal to consume cottage cheese past 6 p.m. on a Sunday.
True.
That is correct. All right. Next up. A male needs a mustache to kiss his partner in Georgia.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna say false.
That is correct.
Okay, good.
In California, women may not drive in a house coat.
Is that true?
I feel a solid true on that.
That is, in fact, true.
Ooh, exciting.
In Oklahoma, tissues are not to be found in the back of one's car.
Seriously?
I'm going false.
I hope you're right.
That is incorrect.
Oh, scandalous.
I want to know why.
In Colorado, it is an offense to ski across train tracks.
That's got to be
That's
true.
true. That sounds true.
That is false.
Whoa! Actually, yeah. Why would they have train tracks on a ski?
Yeah.
In Denver, the dog catcher must notify dogs of impounding by posting for the consecutive days for 3 consecutive days a notice on a tree in the city park and along a public road running through said park.
They have to
Okay,
notify the dog?
For the dog, the
They
dog
have
that
to
can't
notify
read.
the dog.
The dog that can't read. Okay, I'm going false.
Yeah, in Colorado, that seems
It
false.
is, in fact, true.
Whoa!
Dogs reading, we didn't know it.
Very woke of Colorado.
Yeah.
That
Assume
was
the dogs-
Denver.
Oh, Denver.
Yeah.
Well, that's in Colorado.
Denver's pretty zany. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, all fire hydrants must be checked an hour before all fires.
That seems so
You
silly
can't
that
really-
maybe it's true
Yeah,
because it
I'm gonna-
seems so asinine. Yeah.
And Pennsylvania's older.
That is, in fact, true.
Oh gosh.
Arkansas must be pronounced Arkansas.
That
Okay,
also
I need
feels
more
like
words
it could
on
be
that.
true. Yeah, but
Or Kansas.
It is true. It
It's
must
true?
be pronounced Arkansas.
yep, we knew it.
You cannot name your pet "I hate New York" in New York.
That's got to be false. Come on, New York.
I'm
New York
feeling true. I'm feeling
Really?
true. Yeah.
It is false.
New York is just too liberal and.
Sorry
you
that I'm
know,
just so
fun.
trusting and
All right.
my heart's full of joy and
You know,
openness.
spring
In
Lucian.
Kansas, it is illegal to put ice cream on cherry pie.
No, that's got to be
Actually,
false,
I'm
right?
feeling true. I'm feeling true.
It is true.
Why? Cherry and pie and ice cream. What?
In New Hampshire, you may not run machinery on a Sunday.
That's true.
I don't believe New Hampshire's a real place, so.
That is, in fact, true. You may not play music in a coffee shop in Tennessee.
This is a law that probably
It's
gets
gotta
broken a
be.
lot.
I was gonna say it could be true, but like I want it to be false though.
Do you want to know what? I'm gonna be
should we say
contrarian.
false?
I'm gonna go true.
It is false.
Damn it! Dang it! Dang it!
Aren't
It
you
is
happy it's false? though?
illegal
Yeah.
to grow crops on a Tuesday in Hawaii.
I mean, you kind of can't control when crops grow. They just kind of
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta be false, right?
Maybe it's true. I don't
It
know.
is, in fact, false.
Oh
good.
my god! I'm just so trusting.
In South Dakota, it is illegal to pick a flower from a field on Sunday.
That's probably true. There's a lot of weird
Yeah.
Sunday laws.
It is false.
Oh man,
really?
got me. The blue laws are weird, but that's different.
In Massachusetts, it is illegal to wear red in April.
Oh, that's gotta be
that's false.
false.
It is, in fact, false.
Okay.
Good job,
lock me
everyone.
up.
It looks like Miss Bonney is our winner.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay, Aaron, I guess I'm okay with these questions after all.
Oh. He hopped, skipped, and jumped away.
They should have put the camera on him
They
then.
should have. That was great. Thank you, Lucian, for hosting us. And thank you, Miss Bonney, for joining us on the show today. Finally, we'll conclude with today's episode with a new episode of the Zac Pack, where we learn a little more about the host through a self-guided interview.
All right, welcome back to the Zac Pack, Zac Packians. Today we are doing a little bit of a different kind of format. We'll be doing a very unique interview where I'll be answering some of the best questions online about me. These are all very popular questions that many of you viewers at home have been very passionate about getting them answered. So I'm gonna answer them, as one would assume. So starting off, let's check out our questions. We have number one, what is your favorite food? You came to the right person. My favorite food, I mean, sometimes when I'm sitting at home, I like to just grab like a tub of sour cream, and I like to just like get like a spoon, and I just like to, delicious. But otherwise, I mean, I like steak. Next question. Let's see that. What's your favorite music artist? What a great question, whoever asked that. That's a really relevant question given the format of the Zac Pack. That's what the show is called, by the way. That's why we have it on the TV. I call it the Zac Pack because my first name is Zac, and so yeah. What's your favorite musical artist? I think my favorite musical artist is probably I really like Smash Mouth. What's your best friend? My best friend is non-existent. I mean, my best friend's probably whoever wrote this question, because they are the ones who wrote the question to try to get me to say that they're my best friend on live TV in front of my millions of viewers. Number 4. What's your Spotify Wrapped? What a terrible question. Given the fact that the second question that we've had today is what's your favorite musical artist? Why would you even think to ask that? Whoever wrote that question. But my Spotify Wrapped, I guess, I don't know, do you want artists or do you want songs? Because like, if you asked for artists, did you not listen to the second question of the interview? It just makes me really sad, you know? Like some people, they just like to watch my interviews, but they don't even like look at the second question and like consider it when they ask other questions. You know, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes. Like, I'm talking to the camera right now, but I know all of you viewers at home are just sitting there like, and like don't understand like what, you're not even like listening to my questions, and it just makes me like really sad. But my Spotify Wrapped, I'd probably have to say is Smash Mouth, Rick Astley, the Beatles, the cast of the movie Encanto, and I don't really listen to a lot of music. I think I don't have a fifth artist to just goes for. Number 5, what's your favorite movie? I don't watch a lot of movies, especially nowadays after my car got stolen. For those of you casual fans who didn't watch the last episode, my car got stolen and I was unable to go to the movies, and that was pretty bad because, like, you know, what am I gonna do? You have one car. Like, I can't get a new car. I can't somehow get, like, I just have to Uber around if I want to go out to a restaurant.
but like going to the movies, how? And then I don't have like Netflix or any of that. I do, but it's only like, it's the version that only has like shows. You can get 2 different subscriptions. That's a thing you can do now. Netflix has evolved. For those who have not been keeping up, again, like, what was the question? What was your favorite movie? I'd say Shrek 2, but it's mainly because of the soundtrack. So they say, what is the problem, baby? I don't know. Yeah, so I think that might be number 5. Number 6, and then we'll go on to number 7. What's your morning routine? So I wake up around like 1 a.m. and then I go over to like get breakfast. But then I realized that all the breakfast places are closed. And this is like from Uber, by the way. So my Uber drivers are like these like, I don't even like know. Like these are some like crazy Uber drivers. But I go to, I go to like these like breakfast places that are closed. And then like I usually like, there's like a bench outside. So like I just sleep there. Get a couple more hours there, and then once the restaurant opens up, I go in, and depending on what the menu is of the place, I order a breakfast there. It varies by place, obviously, because different restaurants have different menus. But I'd say my favorite morning routine, or my morning routine, I only have one, is so I go there, and then I go to the gym. I lie down on the bench press, and I get a couple more hours in. And I usually go before anyone else gets there. So like around like 4 or 5 a.m. someone will like wake me up, and I'll be like, oh, my bad, didn't realize that I fell asleep, which is a lie. And then usually I just go back home. So I don't know if this is the best morning. I do this every morning. I also dunk my face in some sparkling water, and I guess that's it. Number 8. Who do you work for? I'm unemployed. Number 9. Engine. Number 9. Are you real? I'll leave that up to your interpretation. And number 10. So, you guys don't even need to see this anymore. I'm just gonna skadoosh. Oh yeah, what's your favorite subject in school? I really like mathematics, and English language arts, but I also like social studies and science, and other subjects that are available at school. And I skipped number 7. Number 7 was, what is my address?
Thank you, Zach. And that is a wrap for this episode. Thank you again to our wonderful guest, Mrs. Bonney, and our trivia host this episode. And thank you to our fantastic crew this evening for helping us pull this all together. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Speak of the Devils.